Oh, I call the Town of Advance Park Board meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call for approval of the meeting minutes for June 2025.
You're reading the card for me, the minutes, not the agenda.
Okay, so
That's our agenda for tonight.
we don't approve the meetings, minutes
Yeah.
first. Approval of the meeting minutes for July 2025.
Motion to approve the old minutes from last month.
And then second,
I second the motion to approve the minutes for July of 2025.
and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, because if we don't do it like that, we have to do roll call, from now on, since Jerry is spoken. Let's see, for old business, schedule concession, cleaning, organization. Scott's got notes on the, water heater from Trent Mechanical.
I met with them, actually, Lindsay met with them and let him in today because I was tied up in a meeting. Then I went over on my break. The young man that, and the city uses Trent Mechanical, has never worked on that kind of unit. I told her, I said, Jason knew more about that unit than he did. But he said it makes no sense because everything looks like it should be working and it's not. So, his suggestion, just he did say that he was able to tell that it was manufactured in 2017 and that it should still be under warranty. Sherry's gonna try to find that paperwork and see if it still is. If not, we do have money in our budget for building that we could get another, water heater. We haven't had a water heater in 3 years. And
I don't think it needs them, it just needs repaired.
Well,
And
and
that's
that's,
what anything got fit.
that's what I was hoping that the whole.
Yeah, but those probably don't have thermostat elements that are replaceable. Those things are, like junk units that you put in.
The manual that I found had all kinds of parts in it, so.
Okay, well,
I mean, that doesn't mean that they don't exist, that they're not like,
yeah,
Obsolete now.
yes, that's right, yeah.
but you don't know if there's freeze damage on it or what.
But it was actually installed, the building was completed in 2018.
If it's under warranty, can he do that?
That's the thing, she's gonna look that up. And that's what that kid said. The kid was like, hopefully it wasn't our company that installed it and it's under warranty because they currently don't even have a plumber working for them. Their plumber left a couple months ago and it's never been replaced. So if the town hall ends up needing some plumbing stuff done, they're not gonna be able to turn to Trent right now for that.
Hush.
So,
Okay, the next item on the old business was the citywide,
I did need to finish touching on the water heater aspect stuff.
well, you're still jabbering.
So there is money in in the account for, like building maintenance.
Yeah.
And, cause Sherry said, she's gonna look tomorrow when she goes in and see what she can find on that unit. But we don't wanna drag her out on it. We don't wanna draw it out for months and months because we have races coming up in September. And so everything's gonna be up and the concession stand going. And with the permit, we're allowed to get a visit from the Board of Health. So we definitely need to when the concession stand opens, we need hot water coming through there, so.
So is it a plumber that needs to fix it?
Well, this gets you things,
Okay.
he said he has installed regular water heaters.
Oh, yeah, the minute he saw it, he goes, I have never done an electrical one of these.
Yeah.
So, Maybe his dad would have a better idea.
I have no clue.
Okay, well, depending on what Sherry says tomorrow, I
We'll
can,
investigate further, but
yeah.
that's something we're liable to have to call a special session for to try to get done before the races in September.
As far as cleaning and organizing, I don't know when you had it on your schedule, but I did have some teenagers looking for service hours that volunteered to come help me on a weekend.
Okay.
So if you guys are at a show, then I can meet them over there. So I can go ahead and just find a weekend to do that in the next week or two. And if you guys are able to come, great. If you're not able to,
We can still get stuff.
I have manual labor,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
they can get it done for us.
Yay.
Okay, and then Caleb didn't come tonight. Did we get a report from her on if that went well?
The citywide yard sale,
Yeah.
Scott talked about it last night in the town council meeting and said that how many,
I saw Lisa dozen
We did too. We walked around and saw quite a few.
So, and people were advertising on her, the way she had it set up with a, add your address here,
Yeah.
It looked like there was about a dozen that had put their name on there.
I think we should
So-
do that again sometime.
Yeah, I think there was a need for it. We skipped it last year, and no one really said anything. We had one the year before, it was fairly popular, so I don't know, maybe we can get it to be annual, if not, at least at least
Yeah.
biannually. But I think we have enough people, and people looking to make money, and do this stuff.
And if we do it annual, maybe we can move back around and discuss the, like doing the food fundraiser during it.
Yeah.
too,
Yep,
so that we have like a presence in it.
yes.
Good deal.
Okay.
Billsford houses.
Okay, so I have come up with kind of a rough draft. I have, reached out to a couple different people. I think there's someone locally that does landscaping, but I might ask for dimensions or pointers. And I found someone who works at a prairie that can get us a lot of native plants also, like starters and stuff. So basically my plan was to request one of each of the birdhouses we already discussed, but to put them as like sponsorship levels and say, does someone want to sponsor this specific birdhouse? And we would do a plaque with their name of their business or their family name. So there's mounted bird feeders, hanging bird feeders, squirrel feeders, and houses for smaller birds. I also thought for people who didn't want to commit to sponsoring a whole birdhouse, we could do a like Friends of Advent's Wildlife where you can pledge $20 to bird feed or sunflower seeds or peanuts or more native plants for us to put in. I found some things on Pinterest about mounting them on like an arbor because I want them to be high enough off the ground that teenagers aren't going to mess with them, but low enough to the ground that we can put some benches and people can sit and watch them and still really see it. So
People want to be able to.
yeah. So, and I was thinking when we did our kickoff or showed it, presented it to everybody in town, we could do things like, let some of the kids make those DIY stepping stones where you just use
Oh, yeah.
pipe tins and pour the wet concrete and they can put some stones into it. Or I thought we could do, some DIY bird feeder kits for the kids to put together, like the popsicle sticks and peanut butter and bird seed on a string
Yeah.
for kids to take home so that they can see like they're doing something that's for a part of their park, but they're also gonna get to take it home and maybe the birds from the park will go to their home. So, my plan was to do like native plants and pollinators and just have a nice little memorial section for Mr. Bill and everybody else, all the other animal lovers. So are we still considering the place that we talked about before where the wood pile is, or is that gonna be, it'll be burnt anytime soon?
Well, we won't be able, that's always gonna be the burn.
That's always gonna be the
Yeah,
burnt pile? Okay.
Because of the canopy's open there.
I had a few other places that I thought about putting it, I just wanted it far enough away from the trail that the spraying of the trail isn't going to affect it. And I don't want it close enough to the fields, but spraying from the fields is gonna track over. So I just need like a nice, I'll go back and look, cause I know one of my areas that I liked gets a little too swampy sometimes, and one of the areas I liked was a little too close to something else, so I want it to be like a nice little calm, peaceful area for like the adults. And the other thing I thought about doing was, once we do, I mean, it's probably obviously gonna be next spring by the time it's actually all said and done.
Yeah.
But I thought it would be neat to maybe get like a group of volunteers, maybe some older retired folks that just want to volunteer to come once a week and refill the bird feeders or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe get a crew of bird people. That's my goal. So, and all the sponsorship things are anywhere from 40 to 150. So like a family could do a $40 one, or a business could do a $150 one. So that's my plan, and it's all made out of that EcoTuff recycled plastic that's just indestructible. So it'll last a long time.
Oh my God, it looks like a cardboard reading.
Remember your line.
Do what?
Remember your line.
Oh, hi, guys.
I like the tiering, I think there's some affordable, you know, for folks that may not, you know, if they want to participate, but they don't want to go hog wild, but I
Yeah,
like the fact that there's, multiple levels there, so.
and that's why I thought, you know, put some higher tier ones in, and put some lower tier ones in for people who just want to be involved, but don't want to shell out a lot of money, and then it's everybody's
Yes.
place to watch birds, you know? It belongs to the entire town.
Yeah.
So, and I thought maybe, I was thinking like railroad ties or something like that, but honestly, if we have people that have materials that wanna just donate materials and time instead of money, I'm down for that too. And like I said, I have some teenagers looking for service hours.
I like the idea of, things that don't need upkeep.
Yes,
Like railroad ties, boulders, you know?
yeah,
Because then, you know, you start doing things with like 2x4s, like, you know,
Yes.
you're looking at maintenance in a couple of years.
when I found like the reused,
You know what?
what are the railroad ties that are like old recycled ones, you can get them for like $20 a piece.
Yeah. And
We might be able to get Menards to donate them if we tell them.
it kind of,
That's another
and
thing.
it
I
kind
was
of
thinking.
blends, it doesn't jump out at you or anything.
Yeah, so I was thinking that, and maybe if we could, I know we have a giant pile of brush back there, do we have a wood chipper, can we make our own mulch? Like, how cheap and eco-friendly can we?
Talk to Greg.
About chipper, wood chipper.
A wood chipper?
Yeah, there's plenty of wood out there to chip, but.
Well, you start looking at mulch is expensive, and I was like,
Yeah, it
man, we
is.
got all this down trees out there, can we just chip it up and toss it on there?
Well, Jim said last night that the brush pile is too large to burn right now.
Oh, it's huge, yeah,
It's too large to what?
To burn.
We can tear it down, so.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do. And then I use my tractor with my grabber, we don't have to touch hardly anything.
It's
Really hard to deliver, if you want to do that, but I can check on somebody with a mulcher, they're hard to find.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find people that want to use it just to donate because it costs too much to fix, but I can check and see. But if not, we can take tractors down and we can unpile it or move it to where like you were saying, there's a swamp area. Build a fire there instead of on
yeah.
the good soil. So it's up to you. I can check on Walter and see what we can find out. My son knows a lot of people.
Okay.
So
We need to write that down about asking Menards to donate them, I bet you are
Yeah,
right.
because I'm saying if you go in there and you have the, Scott was is already registered there as the, purchaser for our group. And, you go in there with a 501(c)(3) certificate and say,
Park board, 501(c)(3) are two separate.
you have to go in there as the other group and ask for a donation to do that.
We can go in as the park and see, and we can reach out for donations.
Yep.
That's the park, for the town. Even some landscaping places might be able to,
Yeah,
hitting one place up for a bunch of lunch is one thing, hitting multiple places up for a little bit is totally different.
and
Just like we talked to the co-op and they gave us, weed killer for the trails, so we have that, so we can go out and spray. But it's, it's just hitting these places up and saying, hey, what would you be willing to donate to the town of Adams Park?
yeah, I can do that.
And I said, you do the same thing to the bird people, because they would love, a plaque that says it was donated by,
Wild birds.
I thought
Wild
about
birds.
that, but are they like a chain? Because I noticed there's multiple of them. I thought I
They're
had
not-
a better.
It's a chain, but they're owned
They're
individually.
Okay, all right.
Spring chips, yeah.
But even like tenants, feed over 11.
Yeah.
Cause there's a lot of people here in this town that buy their feed at tenants,
Yeah,
so they might be willing to sponsor a feeder, so.
so then that's my other question is how big are we wanting this to be? Like, if I'm able to get a bunch of donations?
Well, yeah,
Is
it
my
doesn't
size
have to be in
restricted?
one, it doesn't have to even be in one spot. I mean, if
Ooh, like
if it
bird
expands,
stations?
we can have,
You know, spread out the different species of birds.
Yeah,
But you're not,
yeah,
Because they're not all gonna hang out together.
because you don't just want starlings everywhere.
Exactly. and I want to see a bat house on there.
Oh, we have some.
yeah, I've got, it's funny this year, I had beautiful cardinals and bluebirds and woodpeckers. There's a wide variety of birds there. I was really shocked. Most I've seen are a variety. So I think here, and they were fighting. So
Yeah.
here, if you could figure out who eats what and spread them out, and you probably have a better chance of birds on.
Yeah,
We added a smart bird feeder this year, and surprisingly enough, so many different species coming in and eating, and it also has a little hummingbird feeder on the front too with liquid, and we got a couple hummingbirds headed, and
so he doesn't have a hummingbird thing. He got me one for Mother's Day a few years ago, and within the first week, I'm like, we have 20 different birds come and visit our camera in a week.
And the AI tells you what kind of bird it is.
Yeah, but it would always tell me I had like blue-footed boobies and stuff like that, and it was like cardinals.
yeah, we get a lot of, not chickadee, there's one that's in there.
The house sparrows.
Sparrows, this was.
Yep.
And it'll even say that it's a hummingbird, and it wasn't, it was a sparrow, but, so you got, it's not a perfect science on that, but I was amazed at how clear it was, and.
There's a bluebird, bluebird houses away.
Oh,
The purple martin houses they used to have.
Uh-huh.
that too.
I just thought that.
And I love the barn houses, the like little, resorts from the 50s.
We always have one on here. All right, what was the other? So, okay, if I have that gives me more.
Yeah, I mean, our park is so big, I don't dream big. And there's a lot of, it would be nice to have some, where people are, I know you said try to keep away from the trail, but there's areas back there past the trail where people could sit
Yeah,
along the trail and enjoy birds that are out in.
is the rest of that, old equipment going to be pulled out?
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, okay,
With them stuff, yeah. We've already gotten permission to, and it's been surplus, so
good deal.
along with the Wickham sign, which is like,
There's none of that equipment back in their work.
Not much of it. It's pretty far gone.
Yeah, so,
And that one piece broke and little kid that should have been on it anyway, cut himself.
Yeah.
And that's the piece they took out. But when we contacted Withem's like, yeah, we don't have those Juniper bears anymore, so they weren't gonna help. And they're like, if you're still doing that, you can even lose the sign someday. It's like, that's good because the sign needs repaired and it's like not in great shape.
So then, we need to eventually get a sign.
Yeah,
I'll put that on my notes for later.
we get rid of that sign and
You're all over the place. Moving on, that's, that pretty much, with the birdhouses, we just need to dream bigger and brainstorm with the group
Well,
offline and we'll,
it started out like just birdhouses for Mr. Bill, 'cause we all love Mr. Bill, but then I started thinking like we could have native plants out there with little, little tags that say what they are for people to educate themselves
And
about.
Jeannie actually has, Bill's yard is full of native Indian.
Yes,
That's the thing.
It's what is it? What do they call it? It's a nature preserve or something,
Yeah,
a backyard habitat.
and she's already said she would love for some of those to go to the park.
Yes, we did talk about that, bringing some of the plants. Okay, Lindsay's done with those birdhouses, sorry.
ARC updates.
Okay, so the guys, who had not done much with the track this year, mainly due to the weather, a lot of racing was canceled because of the wet weather, and then we went from wet to extreme dry. So they'd only actually raced anywhere once. And, I had already made plans when I contacted them to come out and be working on that. They have totally demolished the RC park and flattened it and rebuilt, and it is cool looking.
Yeah, I gotta see it flat, and then I gotta see it as soon as they finish
They
it.
have a lot of new jumps and a lot of twists and turns, and, they said they didn't change it a lot last year because people were liking the track from the year before when they redid it. But he said he really wants to keep it fresh, so when the people are coming there, it's like a whole new experience for them. They don't wanna get it to where the track is stale for them. And he did apologize for letting it get out of hand, and I let him know that, the town's not gonna go for that, the parks board's not gonna go for that, that, even if they're not racing, they need to maintain it, and if they don't, then it's gonna have to be handed over to someone else.
And the
Be another
residents are
RC
able to
club
use
or-
it while they're not racing?
Oh, yeah, it's open to the public. That's all.
They just don't want bicycles on.
No bicycles, no golf carts, which sounds like crazy that you should have.
so you can use it, but people can use that track?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds so good, okay.
Yeah, they actually encourage it, they're trying, as a way to, get people to join in and get into the sport. We have actually a family that comes over from Brownsburg and uses it frequently. Actually, they're gonna be there tonight, I think, maybe. She said.
Oh,
They love our little park and actually rented the shelter house for their daughter's first birthday. So,
awesome.
Mowing updates.
Oh, I'm sorry, really quick, the race in September, do we need to do the concessions for that?
yes,
Okay.
that's one of the reasons I was like,
What is the date, Scott?
he hasn't given that to me yet. I don't know if they don't have it ironed out or what, but he said there's a racing in September, so
Will we have another meeting before then to,
possibly, and it depends on whether they have it the first, because our next meeting is, September, oh, come on, fingers not working. September the 9th, which is Tuesday. So,
so most likely?
if it's the first weekend, if the race is the first weekend, then we won't have a meeting before then. If it's after that, but I'll find out from Sean, hopefully he'll know this week.
Because we'll need to go get food for the concession
Yeah.
stand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Which we can always go, and some of them we already have, like we're fine on like popcorn and popcorn.
Oh, okay.
We would, came to think about
We need to go through supplies first,
Yes,
because we haven't been in there since
So
winter.
we need like a inventory
Yes.
as we go. Okay.
yes. And And there's some stuff in the freezer too, I don't know, hot dog wise and stuff like that, and we can always, the thing is with this, with the RC races, those are big money concession days. So that's the days we'll wanna like they get there early, so that's why we've done biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
For that. And, we've done, we have, during the day, later, then we'll do hot dogs and hamburgers, sometimes they grill pork sandwiches, sometimes pulled pork sandwiches, you know, and it's usually a pretty good money making day
Okay.
for all the races, so. But
How many people need to be in the concession stand that day?
it's good to have one person up at the front and at least 2 or 3 others to
Okay.
be grabbing and wrapping and
We have
Usually
age
grilling.
limit on those people?
we usually stick him on the grill.
Well, yeah.
And,
I think both of the kids that I talked to, they're like 14 to 17, the ones that want the service hours,
Yeah.
so. All right.
and those are the good to like, hey, can you help gather the trash? Make sure the trash is, you know,
Okay.
the trash can start to fill up, check the toilet paper in the bathrooms, grab pop, you know. We usually try to do the cooler under the window so that it's easy to access.
Okay.
But, you know, we usually have popsicles and stuff going in on the icy pops and the freezers at the back, so, you know. You either run over people or you're constantly going back and forth, so it's easier if there's a kid that.
Yeah.
You get much more than 4 people in that area,
There's just not enough room.
yeah,
Yeah.
it gets pretty hot.
Okay.
A mowing update, because it went backwards.
Mowing. Well, the only update I know is that they did mow. I think it's been a little bit better on the mowing this year, but it's also, I don't think it's required as much mowing this year because of the weather. I do know that after the town council meeting last night, there was a meeting with hoppers.
That's it. That's it. No,
So, and that's some general knowledge. So on the weed eating aspects are all over town, the lift stations and all that. So hopefully we'll see that improve because, traditionally what's happened, and right now it's not an issue because like all the benches are off the grass, which is not where they really need to be.
Yeah.
But they tend to not like to weed eat around properly or move things. They want to go around them and then the weeds and grass grow under the benches and, it's not a good look. And up around the,
The mulch under benches or something.
well, the thing is the benches get moved.
the benches get moved.
Yeah.
Depending on what the events are.
Yeah.
Same thing, we kill down and mulch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when we do the movies in the park, we put those benches like theater seating and, now there are some areas that I've addressed, and that kind of falls into the mowing. I know around the shelter, we have gravel,
Mhm.
sort of gravel, that's kind of, over the years, I think it needs to be freshened up, but I think we should do that around the concession stand too. And that way the weeds around the concession stand aren't even an issue.
Yeah.
We got some grassy areas right in front of the concession stand, and the table is actually out in the parking lot, taking up a parking space,
I noticed.
where it could be there, but would probably be utilized better if it were either mulched or gravel. I think that's gonna last longer.
Yeah, it was run into.
Yeah. Yeah,
Somebody ran into it.
Boy.
they didn't hurt it, but could have. But that's something we can address, because I don't think we'll get to that this year, but going forth, I think, you know,
On our wish list.
with making the concession stand in the areas nicer, I think, you know, and definitely around and I think for runoff, you know, around the shelter, they did that because otherwise when it rains and it comes off the roof, it becomes
Yeah.
mud. So I
That makes
think that's why the gravel was there to begin with, but it really is in the little walk area from the parking lot up to the shelter house
Yeah.
is no longer gravel either, but, you know,
Okay.
that's something we can address. So then that takes us into the weed eater or weed killer, which we've already updated. And just gotta get over there and pick them up during their open hours, so.
They're gone at 5 o'clock, so you gotta be out there before 5 o'clock.
That won't be a problem.
We'll be in the park.
Maybe in the park. Are we ever trying to do one? We have, if we're gonna try to do one this month, it would have to be on the 29th or the 30th.
As long as you're not fighting with the football game. Because it was the football games.
The 30th is a Saturday. That gives us a little over a week, but there again, we're not gonna be able to run the concession stand unless we get in there and get that clean before then. Do we wanna wait and start doing the weed in September?
What is the weather supposed to be like the rest of this month?
We only have one weekend left, and it's Labor Day weekend in this month.
Oh.
And because next weekend is Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, we got this weekend and then
we will move the
movie to September.
September.
Yeah, there's probably
There's not enough time to publish it and all that stuff to get enough people to come
and,
and to go against Labor Day weekend.
yeah.
and
we
then
wouldn't
do
be able
the
to-
coupons for, if you do coupons for Wham again, so that it gets Wham involved.
Yeah.
They gave the Wham coupons for popcorn,
That's a cute idea.
25 cents.
That was a Wham did that.
Wham did that?
Wham did that. They gave them coupons for either a free drink or a free popcorn. And when the kids, to entice them to get out there, and then we
Yeah.
collected them and then gave them to Miss Linda, and Miss Linda reimbursed.
I love her.
So,
Yeah, get with Miss Linda on that one. So let's do the movie in September, and let's do it like in the middle of the month on a Saturday.
and we could do that, you know, it could go through Wham and wouldn't necessarily have to be, Wham sponsored, if anyone else wanted to sponsor. I know like back home, with the new pool, different people and different organizations and different businesses have sponsored free swim days, and they just, the first 50 kids get in free, and they prepay for 50 kids.
So in September, I can do either I can do the 27th.
And we can't do the 27th.
You can't do the 27th.
That's James Dean Base.
Oh,
Also, Earth Festival in Atlanta. And there's something else going on that weekend too. Training, maybe.
that's the last weekend or the second to last weekend?
That's the last weekend of September is the 27th.
Because
Yeah.
that starts covering bridge season.
But yeah, we're committed to James Dean.
I think that's the only one we could do, because I've got the Connor Prairie Run for Sound, camping, and a photo shoot.
And we have Fisher's Pride on the 13th.
If we,
Table it,
okay,
we'll go back to it. Or party one, however you want to put it, table or party one. Thank you, Mark, the mural was a hit, the murals are amazing. The new flags, downtown, are awesome. And, they look really good when you're coming down 75, from the south going north. It really looks nice with them all in a line coming through town, so that was a really good thing Dale did. And, the other people that were involved that helped put them up initially and,
And sponsor.
and sponsor.
And we can't tell what people know, Dale is still accepting donations and sponsors.
Yeah, they still need some more.
Because they do need some more flags.
does it have to be someone from Advance, or can it be the relative of someone from Advance?
Be anybody that wants to give them money. He doesn't turn down money.
Do you know how much they were roughly?
I don't know, but he was just accepting whatever people wanted to do, like, we gave a Wall Street Treats $200.
Oh, wait, these are for the flags, not the banners,
The
on the
flags,
flip
yes.
flopping.
No, the banners are individual people,
Okay,
the families do those.
yeah. I didn't know if it had to be a admin's local, or if it could just be like the family member of someone.
We talked about that last year, and I said, if someone wanted to see their family up in town, like, let's say someone's grandfather's there, but they lived here, but the grandfather never lived, but they wanna see their loved one up there.
Okay,
You know, we're a small enough town, we have 4 military bands up, you know what?
I love that he,
If someone wants to get a military band up there.
yeah, I love that he flipped it around to the other side too, so the mail truck stops. taking it
Yes.
The banners were not old business. You people get off topic. Because that's gonna be the next thing, because we gotta start getting that in line as the banner, but, dogs off the leash, frightening people in the park, what can be done? That was Kayla's thing, last meeting.
It was because of a post on one of the chapters where there were some people fighting, and it kind of sounds like those two houses must just not like each other. I go to the park several times a week, have not seen any dogs, even Doja that lives in the one house. It looks like they've got a fence all the way around the back now, and I haven't seen her around either.
She was out last week,
Was she out last week?
in the road, laying.
Yeah,
My board doesn't work, so I always have to like call out. There was a couple different people that chimed in.
Now, I did see some people say about they quit going a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there were aggressive dogs when we first moved in here a decade ago, and we didn't go for a few years, but all of those dogs are gone.
This just leads right back to, there's ordinances and they need to be enforced. The most we can do is continue to, as part of where the people tell us, hey, so-and-so, or if we see the dogs coming and going into the park by themselves,
I mean, at
report
the
it.
same time,
Just
we
report it.
are dog catchers.
That's what you call animal control.
Yeah, they need
You
to call
shouldn't
somebody
have
else.
to, you shouldn't have to mess with that. Animal control.
Exactly.
Just call animal control, I mean, if it's a repeat nuisance.
I think the problem we're running into, if I remember, Kayla said that animal control's basically given up on that. They won't do
well,
it.
there's one person for all of the county.
I know.
There's a dog that's been abandoned in a house for over a year. And supposedly getting fed and everything on a daily basis, that doesn't happen. It's not getting exercise properly and everything else, so.
I believe
And
they caught all those cats though.
Oh.
Caleb went out there with a team of people and they tracked
Cats, well,
tons of cats to go
Good,
do that trap meter release thing, so.
Yay.
but, yeah, the most we can do as a park board is just be aware if the strays are coming in, if we know who owns the strays, and do our best to get it reported,
But they're not even going into the park, it's the one dog that lays in the road in front of the park.
Oh, she comes into the park when we have events.
Does she?
Yeah,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
She's friendly.
And that's always been my fear, I know she's friendly, but she is, at the end of the day, she's a pit bull, and pit bulls don't really know their own street. My family's had pit bulls, 3rd generation of pit bulls. And it just takes one kid with sticky gooey on his face, since we are a park that serves food and candy and stuff. And this dog comes up and as she gets older, she's gonna, liable to have some health issues and not see good and,
Well, I'm gonna circle back to, we are not dog catchers. If
Exactly.
people
All we
have
can do is
problems,
report it.
They can call.
yeah, yes. But if we see them coming in, we gotta do our due diligence too. It kind of alerted me when someone said, I stopped going to that park because, I was like, well,
Now we
people
just-
say they don't wanna go
I
to the
told
park.
that was years ago, those dogs were
Yeah.
long gone. There were some new ones.
Can we get to new business yet? Mr. Jaguar's along.
Well, we didn't finish,
I will take care of the rule sign.
okay.
There's nothing
Is there a
to,
timeframe on that?
well, maybe this weekend. New business. welcome to Greg, to our church. Jim made a comment at the meeting last night that he said that he hoped we were including you in our conversations. And, he said that, you would probably speak up if we didn't include you. So welcome to the team. The day of service with Festool.
Festool is the company that we did a day of service with last year, and they helped paint, playground equipment, the inside of the bathrooms. They got a whole team, it was probably 15, 20 people out there. And they want to come and do it again. I've communicated with Kim that we're definitely open for it, and just waiting for her response back to do that. So we had another day of service that had to get canceled when I was down with COVID, because there was,
Yeah,
nothing, plus the
the
weather
little
was.
hardcore went down for 6 weeks.
Yeah, and the weather was spotty that day. It was supposed to rain and stuff, and can't really be painting, and that's the main thing we have to, we still have equipment out there that needs, and we gotta check the paint that's in there first, but, in the concession to make sure it's still viable.
So do we need to pick a day?
No, we gotta hear back from her
We
first.
have to hear back from them. Okay.
That'll fall into their, and they'll tell us when they're available, and we just gotta make it work on our end.
Sounds good. Oh, I'm excited for this one.
Jeepers Creepers 2, Friday, October 24th at 7 p.m. We've already touched base with Carrie Simcoe and decided on the date.
Yes, I wanted to get a jump start because, it creeps up on you, Pastor.
Well, I'm sure they get booked up for.
She's completely booked. She had, one day that was available in October.
Yeah.
And because they're also the ones that do all the line dancing stuff.
Yep.
The line dancing with Jeff, that's them. So she had one day and I was like, well, that would probably work perfectly because last year we did it on Friday, October 25th.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same time frame that we did it last year. Only now we have more time to plan and maybe make it a little bit bigger, I think that's the goal.
It's the Friday before Halloween, and Halloween follows the following Friday.
Yeah.
So, last year we had, the concession open, we did free hot dogs, and and we spun cotton candy and donated half the proceeds to the park. And then we had the fire trucks out, and then all the Jeepers came, and anyone else that wanted to come. We had people that weren't Jeepers,
The church was there as well.
and to do trunk or treating out there. Now, this was before our time in town, but there's been talk for several years that there was a common trail. The trail was,
Okay, so on that note, we used to just have a Halloween costume contest in here, and you came in, everybody got to see your costumes, and that was about it.
yeah.
They did the haunted trail one year that we remember, but it was put on by the Boy Scouts, and it was a lot of younger kids, and it just ended up being a lot of screaming. So I've been thinking about this, and I thought about what if we reach out to an older teenage group like cheerleaders or marching band or football players and say, do you guys want to put something together, count it as service hours towards your college reps or something like that, and let some older teenagers who are going to be more responsibly scary to littler kids get up there?
I'm all for whatever, the first year we were here, I started to clean clothesline and do this, clean, like the black plastic and just do scare, in my front yard, I think anything is better than nothing. I would love to see a hayride. Doug seems to think that would be hard to pull off. I think a hayride would be fun even.
Would that be something we could pull off?
Depends on what you're gonna use, and where you're gonna get it from.
Yep.
The tractor and the trailer in the barn?
What trailer?
It would have to be the flat one. So you could build up a hay?
But you have to
What
have,
trailer are we talking about?
Isn't there a pull behind flat one, not the enclosed?
We do not have a
Is
flatbed
it
trailer.
that?
I don't think so.
He has that little bitty tiny one.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a
That's not-
tractor.
That's not big enough. You get the tractor park covered,
Okay.
but you have to get somebody to load you a wagon.
Which could be a fun thing to start with this year is maybe a hayride
I
and,
just was thinking about the legal,
I was thinking the same thing, yes.
because if a kid falls off and gets hurt, and, you know, it's gotta have.
I feel like that would be something you would also have to run by the town board as well.
exactly.
And I said that was what my reason was for pooping the idea in the first place was.
But we want to investigate before just pooping it away.
Okay, whatever.
Otherwise, nothing ever happens in the town. Conceivably, the movie projector thing could fall on a kid while we're showing a movie in the park. But, you know,
If it does, it's on you.
anything that happens in the park, we actually have our cover. We have liability insurance out there.
What is JC2? Oh, Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers too.
Alright.
I just think we need to expand on it from what we had last year,
I
you
think
know?
we should bring back the costume contest. It was a lot of fun for
Exactly.
kids to do it.
They had something here, they had Halloween here at the firehouse. That was when
When it was
From the
too cold, 2 years ago, it was too
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
we brought it to the firehouse and they were in the firehouse.
The church was already set up here to do their trunk or treat.
Mhm.
And so they were actually in here and most of out there.
Yeah, we were.
Got a little bitty section at the very back.
Yeah.
So, but that was out of necessity, but last year the weather was perfect.
Yeah.
It was out there.
Okay, so, nice.
But that's just the thing, I think we just brainstorm on what we can do to expand it and make it a little, you know, we don't want these things to get
We'll
old.
brainstorm just the two of us before the
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Please.
Fundraising dinner?
Well, we're waiting for the president to go on to the next title, to the next topic.
Really. Fundraising dinner, pull on the advanced chatter and chicken and noodles, mashed potatoes, green beans, rolls, blended, hand down, getting 23 of 41 votes. So we know what we're gonna do for a fundraising dinner.
Yes, so I put together the poll, because Sherry and I were talking about, you know, what can we do to, you know, because people are, oh, I remember we used to do the Labor Day festival, and it's like, yeah, but you used to do it, it doesn't happen anymore, so we just gotta do something, we gotta kick things off.
So when are we wanting to plan this?
Well, that's what we gotta do, we gotta start from the ground up. All I've done is put out, I told Sherry, I said, well, let me put together a poll and put it out there to see if the community even wants anything like this, you know?
Yeah.
It's silly to put something on if the community's not gonna support it or care about it. Well, everyone seems pretty excited, but we were thinking spaghetti right off the bat because it's kind of easy, and fairly cheap. And I said, but I think we need to find out if the community, what they kind of want. So I put out there for spaghetti dinner, for chicken noodle, there was like 5 options, and, chicken noodles won by a landslide. So, and chicken noodles aren't hard to do either. That's an easy.
So our weekends are pretty booked already, it seems like in September, so do
Oh,
we
yeah.
want to try to do that in October? It'll be chillier.
This could even happen in November or December. This could be, you know, because it was gonna be in here.
So November will probably have a Thanksgiving thing though, what if,
Or even into the next year. you
yeah.
know. We just need to start setting plans where we're gonna get noodles, are we just gonna buy the noodles, are we gonna reach out to ladies at different churches who make noodles? Do we have any noodle makers local, you know? I know there was a lady who was making noodles that she'd bring them up to the barber shop.
That's a lot of friggin' noodles over all
It
the
is.
town.
All right, this gets stuck in the planning phase. You guys can talk about this offline, that it doesn't have to have a decision made tonight on this, on a date and time. Because you girls can talk for hours about this.
I thought we could pick a month for it at least, since we
Exactly.
already knew September was pretty booked.
When we put things off and it gets cut off.
Then put a date on it then.
October 11th.
Do we want to do October since we're planning Jeepers Creepers?
That's why I was thinking if we put it, that's there, it's like a 2-week difference. So you can do the 4th, though it's 3 weeks apart.
I just think with our small group, it might be a lot of planning to try to get it done.
Let's do November then and have it as a Thanksgiving thing.
That's what I think would work better.
1, 2, 3, 4. So do you want to do Saturday, right, is what we're thinking?
Yeah, I think Saturday.
Do you guys have anything the 15th or the 22nd?
Not as yet.
Just the 21st.
All right,
Yeah, we can't do anything on the 21st.
5th.
It's my birthday.
Oh, well then do you want
And
to
his
do?
birthday.
Oh, well do you guys want to do the 15th then, so you're not like having to deal with legal stuff after your birthday hangover?
When is Thanksgiving?
On the 22nd.
It's the end of the month.
So that's far.
So it would be
4th Thursday.
15th, right in the middle of the month.
2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
If we can find someone who actually does the noodles.
We just get people to make noodles.
Exactly, don't need-
Kind of like how Thorntown did
The
chili
chili
cook-off. Because you get people to make their own, and you can have bowls of people who go around and get them.
Judge it.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, that's the date, we will discuss it later, the details.
Yes.
Then you're not trying to make one huge big batch, you can kind of spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And the last item on the agenda for new business, which I added, is gonna be the banners. Because we gotta get on the banners because, banners have to be, bought and paid for before, the end of December. And,
She hasn't reached out back.
we ran right to the line on getting stuff done this year. And, we need to make sure that, Jeannie gets that picture she has of Bill so that we can get Bill up in town.
I will reach out to her to see if, when they, because usually they reach out and they come to the town council meeting and get it rolling like that, and they haven't done that.
But I'm just putting it on the radar because it comes fast. It's September now.
Trust me, I'm the one that did it.
Take some of those Christmas.
And, yeah, it'll be here before we know it.
Don't speak its name yet. It's not time. And we don't remember how much those were, like,
They were $125.
$125.
$125?
Because that's what I paid.
And the families or the person themselves, you know, if they're still looking, or who pays that, and then,
They get it.
yeah, and then as the town, we order the brackets.
Sounds good?
Greg, you have anything to add? Ideas?
Anything you wanna include and?
No?
He's over here going, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, had an idea, but you know what, it gets deeper.
Okay, no one's requested to speak. I need a motion to close the meeting.
I make a motion to close, the August 20th, 2025 park board meeting.
I second it.
All in favor? Say
Aye.
Okay, that's it.
That's right.
Now you guys can jabber all you want and talk offline.
Okay, because I gotta cook you dinner.
I gotta go home, I got a grandbaby. They're currently hanging out with our 22-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, 22-year-old's old enough to have babies, so they should be able to take care of them.
Yeah, but it's his sister's baby, so she's like. We had him all wrapped up in
Turn
the
off
baby.
your hours.
Oh, yes.
Maybe, no, gotta go home and finish horses. I was hoping they'd be done.
Can't get that lucky.
Well, they might have been, except for Doug rushed everything.
Yeah.
You just